All right, Mr. Arthur, welcome. Is something different? What are we doing, Mr. Arthur? Where are we?
I haven't seen you before.
You've never seen me before. Okay.
Just two
Well,
talking voices.
what was that?
Just two talking voices.
Two talk. Yeah, we're not talking just out of nothing anymore. You can see our faces. Wow, what a technological advancement, Mr. Arthur. It's crazy. Mr. Arthur, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, so here we go. We're looking at what we have to do today. What do we have to talk about today, Mr. Arthur? Do you know?
Let me refer to the agenda that you sent me.
Ooh.
Let's talk about last podcast.
Last podcast. That's perfect. Let's talk about that last podcast. So I pulled up a couple of quotes, Mr. Arthur.
Mm-hmm.
These are things that kids said that we said. Okay? I can't put it any more plainly than that. And I think you said, long time no speak. And I think that's pretty good because now it's long time and now we can see. So that's pretty cool. And then, let me see, another student said that I said go Big Red forever, which I did because go Big Red forever and ever and ever. You said where's Goofy, which is funny because you're always goofy. One student said the go-to P-Law dummy motion has finally become a reality because we have bought the trailer. And let's see. I did declare that I was getting old, Mr. Arthur. I'm getting old. So that's pretty much all I have. What do you have, Mr. Arthur?
Well, I was looking through last week's favorite quotes or part of the podcast. I'm seeing some very interesting answers. One of the things that I see here, a favorite part of the podcast was Mr. Arthur breathing. So whoever said that, I'm glad you enjoyed my breathing.
Oh gosh, no.
All right.
No.
Let's see what else we got. I said yes, I am popular. Don't remember that. I see all my songs have been sung, but I think that was 2 weeks ago.
You see, I think what kids are doing, Mr. Arthur, is they're using this part of the podcast to answer that first one. So,
and then there was one more, Mr. Riley, that was referring to you, and I've got to find. Okay, it says we're in a saga of me losing notebooks. That was from you, and this person said, "Come on, Mr. Riley, just attach it to the bracelet, then you'll always have it." So, I seen a bracelet, but anyway.
Okay. Oh, I somebody else said the saga of me losing notebooks, and it is a saga, and I couldn't find it. I said I was going to use a new one, which apparently I lied. We do have a trip coming up, so maybe I'll remember to take it on the trip, and then I'll probably lose it in West Texas.
Yeah.
That's just how it is. Mr. Arthur, do you have anything else for our first segment here?
I don't think so.
All right, well, I guess that's going to be all for the first segment. We will go on to the next one. And we're back to the second segment of the show this morning, night, whenever you're listening. Whoa!
Oh, I'm back.
Mr. Arthur, I saw The Land Above the Pines, and I didn't know what was happening over there.
Just my floating head in Winfield here.
Floating head in Winfield. That sounds like the worst restaurant idea I've ever heard. So, let's see. Let's look at what is next. We are in the second segment, and that is where is this? This is the week that was. These are the things that have happened this week. And basically, me and Mr. Arthur remember the week in live format here. So, Mr. Arthur, I was sitting here writing up the run of show, and I'm looking at it, and I'm like, what was even Monday? And I'm going to be honest, I don't remember it at all.
No.
Let's try to put this together, okay? We've had a couple of meetings this week, I think. We had to go on a turkey run.
Yes.
We had to get deliveries of turkeys. We shot some lessons this week. That was Monday, right? We shot lessons on Monday, I think.
We did turkey run Monday.
Was that Monday or Tuesday?
It was Monday.
Oh my goodness. Okay. So we had heard that we weren't going to have quite enough turkeys for the beautiful town of Winfield that you see behind Mr. Arthur. And we're trying to get the good word of the Cajun turkey to all. If you don't get the good word of the Cajun turkey to everybody, they won't know.
That's right.
So we had to do that, and we pulled some connections through Facebook. You know, I'm not going to lie. Thankfully, we were able to pick up some of those on the black turkey market. You know, the black market for turkeys, and we were able to pull some stuff together, and I think it worked out pretty good.
Yeah, I think so.
So that was Monday. What else did we have going on? Oh, Mr. Arthur. Let's not talk about this weekend until we get the FFA news, okay? This past weekend. Remember what happened then? Because I almost let the cat out of the bag.
Are you referring to the 12 straight days of work?
Mr. Arthur, we don't complain around here.
No, that's not a complaint. We just didn't get a weekend, so I wouldn't call it a weekend.
Well, that's true. That's true. I guess I should say the 8th day of the 12th week or something like that. So yeah, excellent point. Point understood. But that Monday we went on the extra turkey run to get us some sweet Cajun goodness. And on Tuesday, any idea what we did Tuesday?
Tuesday was a complete clean of the ag department and prep for turkeys.
That's it. As you can see in my shot that my office is clean, and I think that's pretty amazing. Got the beautiful WSHS letters behind me, and a couple of my knickknacks, as some people might say. But anyway, yes, we were able to clean the ag department, something that is needed for about, 6 months, Mr. Arthur? What hurt us in the beginning was that, all the poultry stuff was out, because poultry, is supposed to end in late March. Well, this year it ended in late September, early October. And there's nothing we could do about that. And that was something that we had to, just make room for until we were done with it. And thankfully we were done with those things. And if you were in your classroom right now, Mr. Arthur, if anybody was in your classroom right now, they would see, what would they see?
I don't know. I'm floating over Winfield right now.
Okay. Well, I can see your classroom as you are floating high above the bayous, and
they would see, I think it's missing about 28 desks.
However many desks are normally in there, they're all gone. They have been snapped away, except Thanos only went for half. You went for all. You removed all of your desk, and they're in the shop. And so the only thing really that's dirty in the shop or messy or unorganized in the shop is 28 student desks. And now those boxes that we have in the shop, Mr. Arthur, we have to keep those through our Christmas sale, correct?
We do.
Yeah. So
to the old ag shop where they'll reside for about 3 weeks, 4 weeks.
Yeah. So, money moves as always in the Winfield Senior High School Ag Department. But for right now, that's just kind of how it is. And we'll have those desks back in there for November 30th. And we're ready to go, ready and able. So that was Tuesday. Mr. Arthur, let's have a little exercise, okay? Not cardio, but like mental exercise. What if you had to describe our day on what was it be Wednesday? Let's talk about Wednesday. If you had to describe our Wednesday in 5 words, what would you say?
You want a sentence or 5 individual words?
It can be either one. It's your choice. It's all about student choice, Mr. Arthur. 5 words.
Exciting.
Okay.
Cold.
Yep.
Busy.
Yep.
Plentiful.
Plentiful. That's a Thanksgiving word right there. Plentiful. Okay.
Polt-tastic.
What was that last word?
Polt-tastic.
Polt-tastic.
No, poult. Poultry.
Polt-task. Okay. Okay. All right. You see, guys.
Call me Webster. I'm making new words.
Well, Mr. Arthur, do you know what it's called when you put 2 words together?
No.
You don't know, Mr. Arthur?
No.
But you love English.
No.
I thought you loved ELA. Huh. So that is called a portmanteau, Mr. Arthur.
Pork man's toe.
I didn't say a poor man's toe, Mr. Arthur. Mr. Arthur, speak closer to the phone. It's a portmanteau.
Portmanteau.
That's it. But that's one word. That's one word put together. Anytime you're taking 2 sounds of 2 different words, putting them together, that's a portmanteau, Mr. Arthur.
Okay.
Here's the thing. We have started with tragical.
Yeah.
Another one of our students on Wednesday, on Crazy Day, they said stingle.
Oh, yes, Stingle.
Stingle, and that's another portmanteau that is stinking single, and that's when good Southern people get really mad. They say every stinking single time. Well, we're just cutting out the middleman. We're cutting out that extra ing. It's stingle.
Stingle.
So, Mr. Arthur, I completely agree with your 5 words that described our Wednesday. It was chaotic in the most positive way. It's one of those things that's a very necessary thing that happens in ag departments around the Southeast for sure. I don't know what people in the Midwest do for fundraisers. I'm not sure. You got more friends than I do, Mr. Arthur. Do they do Thanksgiving sales like in?
I haven't seen any posts or anything from any of my people. So.
Yeah, so I don't know what they do for money. Maybe, well, I'm not gonna speculate on whatever they do to make the wheels go round. But hey, I thought to have almost nearly 1,000 turkeys and agricultural byproducts, processed goods that we had come through the ag department or to the ag department and then right back out. I thought to have the number that we had, it was pretty insane. It was pretty crazy, but it was amazing that it happened as smoothly as it did.
Yeah, we had some officers here and a couple other students, and they did an excellent job of facilitating this and getting things in and out. The truck got here at about 9:30, 9:15, 9:30.
Yeah, it was somewhere around
10:30. We were ready to start pumping out field orders. So kudos to those guys for coming up and helping, because it would have been a long day with just you and I unloading and loading boxes up.
You and I. Woo! There ain't no way, Mr. Arthur.
That's a Lady Gaga song.
That's all I can think about, but due to copyright, I will not sing it because y'all won't believe this, but I sound just like Lady Gaga when I sing. Beautiful voice, but it is so close to her voice that EMI will just, try to steal all the profits we're making from this. And, here's the thing. I make $0 on this podcast, and that's how I want to keep it. That's my $0, and I don't want to give it away to anybody. So, Mr. Arthur, that takes us to Thursday. Thursday, I like to call the aftermath. Yeah. We have a couple of people coming in and out, needing their goods, needing their turkeys that they might have missed. Maybe they had too many smoked turkeys and the Cajun turkeys, or maybe they wanted meat pies and they didn't get any meat pies. And I think that was kind of the theme of the day, aftermath.
Right.
And so from there, what else did we do today, Mr. Arthur?
Well, other than pass out turkeys, and we had some of us, not gonna point fingers, some of us had a faculty lunch, Thanksgiving lunch. That was pretty nice.
It was excellent.
And then we got to see some familiar faces we hadn't seen in a while, dropping off some orders and that kind of thing. That was good. And if you haven't picked up your order yet and you're watching this, come get your order. And if you need anything else that maybe you wanted, I didn't get a meat pie. Mom said, "Oh crud, I should have ordered meat pies." We have some left, so just send us an email and we can get you some meat pies before Thanksgiving.
That, something I've alluded to, and I'll probably bring it up at least one more time. We will not be here the first half of next week. We are pretty much always on call, and so we are getting out for a second and a half, and so some Thanksgiving breaks we might be able to swoop into the ag department and hand deliver a turkey the Tuesday before Thanksgiving. Not this time. Like we just will not be here. We will not be physically able to do that. And so please, if you are listening to this and your mom said, "Hey, if those crazy guys said that they had more meat pies or something and I forgot to order yours," or whatever, let us know. We have been, Mr. Arthur, I've been checking my email more this week than I ever have my entire life. I feel like those people that used to be at home for Publishers Clearinghouse, and they were like, "Ooh, today's the day. That guy's going to come and give me $1 million." That's how I feel like my email has been, just refreshing because I'm trying to answer these questions before progress reports.
Right.
Because that was the other part of our day, making sure all our grades went in. And I think that we need to talk about that just really quick, Mr. Arthur.
Okay.
Really quick. Because I know you sent an email today. I was going to include in my Friday email that had the link for this. Look at your grades. If your parents can get on Parent Command, get on Parent Command. That's where all my grades are. My grades are not on Google. If I put them on Google, I have to do it twice. And grades are the least favorite part of my job for me personally. But look at your grades. If you are missing an assignment, you can reach out to us. I will answer any and all emails up till 3 p.m. on Friday, and then I'll answer as soon as I can over Thanksgiving break. And, look at those things. There are several good kids, Mr. Arthur, several people that are normally on top of their stuff that are slacking right now.
Right.
And I just need them to know, one, it's not too late technically, but there is a printed sheet of paper for some of y'all that have an unfavorable letter grade on it that you may not be used to. And it's not too late, but it is too late for that paper to change because that paper has been printed and is being transported to your household.
I sent in my email some specifics for my classes, so please go look at your email. If you've not, I sent it. It says progress report is the subject. That gave you information on the grades that maybe you're missing, why you had zeros, why there were blanks in your progress report. I don't want any mamas calling me mad and saying, why does my kid have this? I sent it to you. That's why you have that. So I am giving an opportunity for my classes to make up some of that work, but look at your email and read for more specifics.
This is a new experience for everybody. And, several of our students chose to be face-to-face, and this week they're dealing with the joys and discomforts of that virtual life. And I get that it's a new thing for them, and it may not be that it's your thing, and maybe it's hard for you to access those things. That's why it's important for you to reach out to us, because we can't help you if we don't know there's a problem.
Right.
The fire truck doesn't drive up and down the streets of Winfield looking for a fire. That's not how that works. It doesn't have time to do that. It sits at home, it's ready, it's on call, and when there's an issue, then it can be resolved. And that's how we're handling this situation. We're trying to give you all the information we can, but if you don't tell us there's a problem, we can't address it.
Right.
And so that's really all I think for our week, Mr. Arthur. Is there anything else?
Not that I know of. It's been a pretty good week.
A pretty good week. One of those weeks that if you told me there was only 2 days in this week, I'd been like, yeah. If you would have told me there was 8 days in this week, I've been like, yeah. Like, I can't remember anything. And maybe next week, the saga of the missing notebook will overcome, and maybe I'll actually have some notes from my week. Hopefully I do. So,
what notebook are you missing?
What notebook?
Yeah.
It's a beautiful, it's one of my, I don't have that with me, but anyway, it's one of those notebooks. It's about...
Oh, one of your field notes?
One of my field notes, yes.
Yeah, because I stole your red notebook. I thought that's the one you're looking for.
You stole my red notebook. Which one?
I don't know. I needed something out of it that had some stuff I needed, and I lost.
It's a 5-star, 1 subject.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, you have that notebook. Okay.
Now you know.
Okay. Guys, if you were hearing this, Mr. Arthur has stolen my notebook. He is flying it and holding it above the city of Winfield. And even though it's getting dark outside, his Winfield still has light. I don't know how it's happening, but that's mine because it has that crease in the. Oh my goodness!
It's yours.
How much you want for it?
I'll give it back after I tear my stuff up.
Those pages, those leaves of paper will never be replaced, Mr. Arthur. Once they're gone, they're gone. Which really, really brings up the quote that is coming up in a couple of segments, Mr. Arthur. So I think we should end this segment and move on to the next. All right, here we go. All right, Mr. Arthur, we're back.
We back.
So we back for When Is This? When Is This is the FFA news, and it could be at the local, district, state, area, national, left out parish, but it could be at any level of FFA, and it's just things that our FFA members need to know. If you're listening to this, hopefully you are an FFA member. Mr. Arthur have definitely forgotten to do our FFA roster, so that's fun. And here's the thing. I was talking to one advisor last weekend, Mr. Arthur, and they were talking about, I was trying to get the roster in. And I was like, oh goodness, we forgot to do the roster. Oh man. And they were like, shut up, I know y'all did it. And I was like, okay, yeah, we did it. Oh, good times.
Well, I called the state office and asked them. She was like, as long as you have somebody in there, you're affiliated, so it doesn't matter.
Okay. All right, guys. Yeah. PSA, get affiliated. Your chapter. All right, so
Mr. Riley, you see the sun setting now over Winfield?
Mr. Arthur, here's the thing. I always get blamed for being extra. I always get blamed for, I'm too much. Pretty sure that's you.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. This is our beautiful baseball field. Look at it. There it is.
That's impressive sound quality coming from the parking lot, Mr. Arthur.
Yep. Mm-hmm. I feel like I'm on like the Weather Channel or something.
The beautiful thing about this is that I know these jokes are bad. Like that's, I think, really the key to all of this. These jokes are bad, and I know it, and that's fine. But Mr. Arthur, we are not talking about the school right now. We've moved on. We're talking about FFA as a whole. And I really want to just talk about one thing. Mr. Arthur, me and you started this podcast roughly 16 weeks ago, about 4 months ago. Okay? And in it, there's been about 7 episodes where we talk about area officer elections. It seems like they were always that weekend or that month, or we had no idea when it was going to be. It was a feature on this show a lot. And Mr. Arthur, since I've been here, we've had a couple of contests, but they were very out of the ordinary contests. They were away from what they were supposed to be. This was the first time. This was the closest thing to how it should happen that we've done. They followed the same idea of an application, an interview process. Like, it closely mirrored what it typically looks like in a non-COVID year.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm very, very happy for that, because now we have students that can say, oh, that's how that works.
Mm-hmm.
Because we had students this year in the past 4 months that competed in events those events may never look like that again. You know, that poultry contest may never look like that poultry contest. So it's helpful, but it's not perfect. It's not big helpful. Well, we have 3 students that went through the whole process of area officer nominations, committees, and elections for area office. And I'm so excited because it worked. They got to see it. They got to see it, and not only did they see it, what happened, Mr. Arthur? I'll let you pick it up. I'm talking.
Well, this is the first time I've seen it, so it was a very interesting process for me. So we started off with them completing an essay and an area plan. That was something new, I think, for you as well. That area plan, where they worked up some events they think should happen in the area. And then we went into an interview process where they had 2 rounds. One of them was a personal panel where they talked about themselves and things that they did, not just FFA, but also other aspects of their lives. And then we did an agricultural advocacy panel, where I finally got that right. That felt good. Where they talked about things that are going on in the state and with their FFA programs in agriculture. And so we had 3 students who did exceptionally well through that process, and we were very proud that not only they represented themselves well, but our chapter well, and hopefully have kind of started a wave of area officers being a tradition in our chapter.
That was really what I was really hoping for, was that, they see the process, and that it's not something like, oh yeah, people do that, we don't do that, but people do that.
Right.
And, they're able to see the process, and that, it's always impressive to a kid when they rise a level, and they're seeing other people at their level and seeing what that looks like, because sometimes we put people on a pedestal and we don't understand them, like, oh, well, they're area officers, oh, they're state officers, oh, they're national officers, and we don't understand what that looks like. The first time that I, as a teacher, was ever put in consideration for a leadership role like an LATA or an FFA or anything, I was like, why me? Like, I'm not I'm a 3rd-year teacher, I'm a 2nd-year teacher, whatever. And you realize that sometimes, well, I'll just leave it at that. You don't realize what it looks like at that level until you're there.
Right.
It's kind of like I forget how short I am until I see pictures of myself. It's one of those things, you just need perspective. And I think now, we haven't said the results yet, have we? Okay, so we had 3 candidates, 3 excellent candidates. And me and you had many talks, and we're like, pretty sure all 3, I want to choose my verbiage correctly, Mr. Arthur, but we thought they were worthy. Well, like, we thought our 3 candidates were very good candidates, very qualified candidates. And, you never know what's going to happen. But thankfully, they went through the process. They submitted the things that you talked about. They went through the 2 rounds of interviews. And those 3 individuals were all selected by the nominating committee to represent Area 2. And that is something that we've talked about this. We don't know if that's been equaled in Winfield history.
Right.
And it's a very special thing. And Peyton Little was selected as the treasurer. Annie Hurd was selected as vice president. And Lauren Poole was selected as Area 2 president. And those 3 are going to be an excellent addition to a team.
Yeah.
They comprise of 3 out of the 7 of that team, which is pretty special. It's like 42%, I think,
Yeah.
something like that. And they're very excited, and that's something that I'm very happy about. They're very excited to be a part of the team and to do because I really like the whole area plan of it, because they're able to look at something, they're going, this is what I want our area to do. Well, then they went through the process, got selected to be on the team, and now they might actually put that into place. And I think that's really, really cool.
Yeah. I'm very excited. As a second-year teacher, having 3 students serve at that capacity, it's just a stair step until my next goal is having a state officer. So very excited.
Yes, it's really cool, to see our goals and our personal goals, see chapter goals and our students' goals, and it's really cool when all those align and it fulfills different parts of different people's goals. I think that's really fun, and I'm really happy to be a part of it.
And you and I had talked about, this is what we think is the first area officers we've had since 2016 or 17, something like that. So it's been several years. So we're very excited to be back on that stage.
Yeah. And as far as anybody can remember, Zach Little and William Walker were the last area officers. We might be missing somebody, and I apologize if we are, but
I think that's, from what I've looked at in scrapbooks and pictures, I think that's the last 2 we've had.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. So happy for them, so proud. They're now in talks with their new area officer team and setting up meetings and events, planning things. It's such a fun time for them, and I'm so glad that we are here to support them and advise from time to time as the need arises, Mr. Arthur. So I really wanted to just focus on that because for FFA News, because we've been building that up so much, and now we have my word of the week is culminated. We have finally had a culminating event, and I'm just going to leave FFA News at that, Mr. Arthur.
All right. Well, I wanted to end this segment with asking one of my questions, my FFA Ag questions.
Trademark questions.
Yes. So this is question number 1 for those of you listening strictly to fulfill the form there. So, who was the first former FFA member to become president of the United States? The first former FFA member to become president of the United States. You want to take a crack at that? I didn't know it, Mr. Riley. I had to look that up.
Well, I'm pretty sure I know I know of one, and I don't know if he was the first.
Yeah.
But is it Jimmy Carter?
It is Jimmy Carter.
Jimmy Carter.
So Jimmy Carter is the answer to question number 1.
Old Jimbo from Jordan.
From Georgia. The peanut farmer himself.
Jimbo, his brother Billy, all of them. All of them. Still teaching Sunday school.
Still teaching Sunday school at age, 94, 95?
Something like that. He's an Iron Man. Building houses for humanity.
Yeah.
Doing good things.
Good things.
All right. So, Mr. Arthur, I think that's going to be all for FFA News, and we'll go on to the next one.
All right.
And here we are to, I believe, Mr. Arthur. Whoo, man, I'm getting sleepy. The 4th segment of the show. Why is this? This is where we talk about quotes that help define us, how we're feeling, what we're thinking, and we relate it back to education and our students.
Yeah.
One of the most fun to us, and I will address this real quick, Mr. Arthur. Some of our students think that your favorite quote has to come from this segment when we ask for that on the form, and it's not from this segment, it's from anything that we say.
Yeah.
And it could be good and educational, it could be hijinks and mischief. I mean, it can be anything that your favorite, like that's all your favorite. Yeah. Mr. Arthur, are we going to keep up with the current trend of me, you, and me first, then you?
Well, I was thinking tonight that if I went first, then you went, then I did a question, then you did the game.
I like it.
Makes sense. But real quick, I just, before we start the serious stuff, I was just watching what we're doing here, Mr. Riley. If you turn your camera like this, like your body, and you look straight ahead. We look like we're talking to each other.
It's a little too real, Mr. Walker.
It is. All right. Back to normal. All right. So I was looking for quotes this week, and I thought I need something that's kind of going with the theme of the week. And all our week has consisted of, in the ag department, really has been turkeys. So I thought I'll go with a Thanksgiving themed quote. So maybe a little basic, a little vanilla for you, but I'm going to do it anyway.
Basic.
This is a Henry David Thoreau quote, which I think, ironically, I used him a couple weeks ago. But anyway, he says, "I am grateful for what I have and what I am. My thanksgiving is perpetual." And so I was thinking about that, and I thought I know what perpetual means. It's never ending kind of deal, but I thought, let me look up the definition. That's all it told me, never ending. So really what I was going for was, I was trying to get real deep with it, and then the internet said no. But anyway, we have a lot to be thankful for. We survived 2 hurricanes. All of our students have made it through the COVID pandemic so far. Knock on wood, praise God, that's happened. We have a lot of things to be thankful for. We have a great school here. We have a great community. And on a smaller scale, we have a great FFA chapter. And so all of those things we should be very thankful for. I'm very thankful for. I know you're very thankful for. So just during this holiday time while you're off on quarantine, think about the things that you have to be thankful for and be perpetually thankful.
I like it, Mr. Arthur. Big fan of when we take a step back, like I was talking about earlier, with the perspective and, realize that we have so much to be thankful for. I went a little different direction with our quote. Last week you talked about how it's really cool when our quotes really align. This week they don't. And that's okay. We're different people. So Mr. Arthur, I was talking to some of our students before the turkeys came in. Mm-hmm. We were having a good MCU conversation. And this really links back to last weekend when we were doing area officer stuff and Thor Ragnarok came up. And I think Thor Ragnarok is one of the best MCU films. Definitely has one of the best soundtracks. But that's neither here nor there. Anyway, in that movie, in that film, the third installment in the Thor saga, Thor says, God of Thunder himself says, "I choose to run towards my problems and not away from them, because that's what heroes do." And there's been several things that come out, and you're talking about be a hero in your community, and we should all be a superhero in whatever way possible. But I want to take us, make it even smaller scale than that. And he says, "I choose to run towards my problems and not away from them." A lot of our students do not care for the virtual learning, Mr. Arthur. Mm-hmm. A lot of them are trying to take the easy way out on a lot of it.
Right.
And we're missing out on so many experiences because we're being separated, and I think we should face that. And, me and you are finding ways that we can still interact because we do things like this podcast.
Right.
Ways, and that was the original intent of this podcast, was for us to be able to talk, for you to be able to hear the nonsense between us, and for us to instill those life lessons that we would typically do in a normal classroom on a normal day. And when we're trying to just, in the terms of that some of our kids would know and understand, speed run our lessons, and just trying to like the Adam Sandler movie Click, just trying to fast forward through all these things, you miss so much. And I don't like that so many of our kids are just skipping ahead in assignments. They're just trying to get just the facts and get out. I think it's going to lead me, Mr. Arthur, into overcorrecting and making them have to write more. And I don't like those things, but if we don't go in that direction, they're not going to experience these things because they're just trying to take the easy way out.
Right.
And that I don't like to be anything but positive when we're doing this, but that angers me. I don't care for that. Now, would I have done the same thing? Maybe. I don't know. But why are we rushing? There's literally nothing to do. All they do is complain about that there's nothing to do in town. Well, and then they try to get done with their schoolwork in 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Like, I don't get it. So try to face life head on and make the most of it. Don't try to run away from things. Go and experience it. And if it's your schoolwork, if it's, the Google Meets with Dr. Cole, or if it's our podcast or whatever it is, do it, because that's the only time you'll ever get to experience it. Right. I enjoy every one of these podcasts. Do I want to listen to episode 2 right now? No. Because that was so important the week we've done it. And if you don't experience it then, it means so much less. So, Mr. Arthur, that's my quote.
All right. Well, I think 2 like I said, very interesting, different quotes this week, but good stuff for both of them. So my second question will be the final question that I ask for the Google form. Now, there'll be other things to do on the Google form. Final question I'll ask, question number 2. Wheat, barley, oats, and rice are all examples of what types of crops? I'll repeat that question one more time. Wheat, barley, oats, and rice are all examples of what types of crops? And the answer is cereal crops. Cereal crops, just like the cereal that you eat. All these are turned into things that we eat every day. Breads, cereals, any kind of thing that contains grain has these in it. So very important, very much a staple, especially of American cuisine.
Why is it a staple and not a paperclip, Mr. Arthur?
That's a great question. It binds things together.
Ooh, about a binder clip.
Yeah, binder clip. It's a binder clip.
It's a binder clip of the diet. All right. I understand it now because I didn't understand the staple. So, all right. So, Mr. Arthur, I think that is all for, what was this? Why is this?
Sure.
Why is this?
I don't know.
I got logged out. Wow.
Yes, this is why.
This is why. We go on to the last one.
What is this?
Ooh, here we go.
The stars at night are big and bright in the heart of Winfield. All right. We're back. What is this? What is this? What is any of this?
I think that's a great way to, when, you're singing Deep in the Heart of Winfield. Oh, wow.
You're a little late on the clap, but it's not a big deal. It's not a big deal.
We're on time delay, Mr. Arthur. This is awful. Anyway, because when you were doing it, I was trying to wait for your clap, and it is a whole thing. Anyway, Mr. Arthur, I came up with a game this week. I really like this one. Mm-hmm. This is something that one of the students said that I should do some hip hop, and I didn't do hip hop. Okay. I did some R&B, some very loose R&B. Like most would define him as pop. Okay. Not the king of pop. Not him. But Mr. Arthur, have you ever heard of Khalid?
Okay, so before we get into this, we were in Target about a month ago, and I asked you if this was the same as DJ Khalid.
That is correct.
And you told me no. That's all I know.
Okay. I mean, that's fair. That's fair. I forgot about that, and we were looking at vinyl records, and yes, this is Khalid, not DJ Khalid. Another one. Anyway, Khalid was born Khalid Donnell Robinson in 1998, because we are old, and he is an American singer, songwriter. Most people, again, labeling him as pop and R&B. In March of 2017, he released his debut album. It was American Teen. It produced two top 20 singles. One is Location, the other one is Young, Dumb, and Broke. Both of them are bops. Anyway, he spent his childhood in different locations because his mother and father were both in the military. And he started, or he didn't start, he was born in Georgia. He spent time in Kentucky, spent time a couple of places in New York, even 6 years in Germany. And high school, though, he started singing, doing some musical theater. He attended the Carthage Central High School in Carthage, New York, for his first 3 years, so his freshman, sophomore, junior year of high school. But then his parents split. His mother moved him to West Texas city. Okay, so it's a city in West Texas is where they moved. This city, I'll give you 2 hints. This city has an institution in the University of Texas system. It also is the city hosts the second oldest football bowl game in the country.
West Texas.
West Texas.
How west?
All I can say is West Texas.
Okay.
But I will tell you this, Mr. Arthur, it's not lying when I say West Texas.
El Paso.
Correct. They have the University of Texas at El Paso. They have the second oldest football bowl game. I didn't know until I was researching is the Sun Bowl in El Paso. I knew it was the Sun Bowl. I didn't know it was the second oldest, and I didn't know it was in El Paso.
Yeah, I didn't either.
I thought it was in Arizona. Whatever. Anyway, so when he moves to El Paso, he starts going to America's High School. And he enrolled there in 2015. He enrolled as a senior, and he has described this as the best year of school of his life. He loved it in El Paso. He's told many sources that he never felt at home before he got to El Paso. And throughout his time in both places, you know, he was studying singing, he was studying musical theater, voice, all those things. It's the end of his senior year. For some reason, he wasn't really looking at graduation. He wanted to release a song before his senior prom. He wanted his own single to release before his senior prom. Mm-hmm. And he would release Location. Location was his first single off his album. It was also the first thing he ever released. And he did it on which online audio distribution platform and music sharing website? Hint, this is a company that was founded in 2007, but it didn't reach prominence until the 2010s. When you get it, you start it for free, and it's made its own subgenre of rap.
I have no idea.
Mr. Arthur, come on. We have, well, you've heard of this, but you know you're not in the music game as much as I am, Mr. Arthur.
It's a streaming service?
It is a streaming service, but it's also where they can just release music. You know, people can just release music on it without, you know, a label or anything.
Only one I know is Spotify.
Spotify's a good guess, but this is SoundCloud.
Oh, okay.
So he released Location on SoundCloud. It's went on to be a great hit. That album actually went to be double platinum.
Oh, wow.
And, he's done a lot of collaborations. That's my last question. But one, I made a joke on Instagram about us being dropping a mixtape on SoundCloud because of that picture we took when we were getting ready for, you know, Area Officer Nominating Committee. And then I really like one of the collabs he did with Logic. I don't know if you know Logic, but he's a music producer. And he released a song that helps suicide prevention. They help awareness. And he actually named the song 1-800-273-8255. that was the name of the song on all the charts, because that is the hotline to the suicide prevention lifeline. And because of the work that Khalid did, the Logic, and Alessia Cara on that song, it actually made the FCC make a easier way to reach that. And so the FCC implemented 988 as the new toll-free nationwide telephone number for the hotline because of the work on that.
That's all.
Yeah, I don't think it's live yet. Like, I don't think 988 is live yet, but it's in the resolution or whatever. It's going to be live by 2022.
Yeah.
And I think that's really cool. And I like when music makes a difference. I like that. And so anyway, that was just what I was saying about this week because of a couple of different things. But anyway, that's all for my game this week.
Enjoyed it. Learned a little bit.
I always try to teach just a little bit, you know. So, Mr. Arthur, do you have anything else for this week?
I don't think so. Just remember that if you're missing assignments, please get those in as soon as possible. We do have some extra things left over from the fundraiser. If you need anything, shoot us an email and we'll set up a time to meet with you tomorrow, and then, or tomorrow being Friday, and then if we're still taking money for Christmas order, that's due December 1st. We'll let you know about if there's a date change or anything with that with school. But other than that, have a very happy Thanksgiving. Enjoy your break. Stay safe. Wear your mask when you're out in public. And hopefully we'll be back together on November 3rd.
Love y'all. Can't wait to talk to y'all again. Need us, let us know. We'll see y'all on the next.